Welcome to another episode of our Footy Fantasy podcast. Project to Start is in full flow every day. Too much football. In some extent, it's happening, but we're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Uh, so joining us, Idris, as always, Chelsea fan. Idris, how you doing?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Ola, part of the team here again. How you doing, Ola?
Good. Hanging in there.
Okay. Just like your title challenge.
Exactly.
No, it's not hanging in there. It's going to happen eventually. So before we go into our topics, for sure, today's all about the EPL, about some hot takes. I'd like to tell you guys where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook at Extraordinary Footy Fans. You can find us on Twitter at Footy AD Fantasy, one word. You can find us on Instagram at Fantasy Footy. And this video, the full length, will be on YouTube at Footy Fantasy, two words. And you can also, if you like podcasts, you can find us on the Footy Fantasy podcast. So I think the best place to start is with these Arsenal fans. We have to start with them.
Arsenal lives matter.
Arsenal lives matter, just like I'm wearing my Black Lives Matter. I think Arsenal lives matter. I wish I can find a shirt like that and wear that for them. So we'll start with Arsenal. I guess we let Ola. So Mikel Arteta, right? I think I looked at his Premier League. 12 games have been played. I think under Arteta, 12 games. He's lost 3. And he's had only 4 wins and 5 draws. So, I guess, what are your thoughts about Mikel Arteta? Should he be scrutinized more? Is he getting a pass? Is it too early? Where do you stand?
Well, I'm usually for giving coaches extended period of grace. Yeah. So, I know why some people are maybe a bit frustrated because they thought they have enough quality to be higher than 10th place at the moment. But I don't know, it's not just the quality. I just think Arsenal is the mentality issue also.
Right.
Like, I don't know, their priorities are not right, in my opinion. Their priorities are not right. As a team, as a squad. Like, yesterday, Guendouzi was fighting after the match, pushing Morpe. And what's his name? I think was it Ian Wright was saying, like, that's too late. You're fighting after the match. Show the fight on the pitch during the game. Fight to win. Not after you're now pushing Morpe and after the game. Where's that fight during the game? You had the lead, and so that's why I say it's a mentality thing. It's not just a quality. They have some good players, and I think Arteta, his biggest issue would have to be to strengthen their mentality, because players like Aubameyang didn't look interested against City. I didn't watch the full Brighton game, but I don't think he did much either. It's not that he doesn't have, it's not that he doesn't have the quality, but it's like maybe he's mentally checked out. So for me, it's not really on Arteta. That's to answer your question. It's not really on him at the moment. But if he's going to make a change, it will not just be about the quality, but also about the mentality of that team.
Okay, that's a good point. Idris, what are your thoughts? I know they are your rivals, not London rivals. So what are your thoughts about Arteta, scrutiny, and maybe some color more about Arsenal as a whole? What their problems?
Honestly, I second what Ola is saying. I don't think it's about Arteta at this moment. I do think what we are seeing here, and looking at my notes here, is years of bad recruitment. Like, when I watched the entire Brighton game, and I watched their first game, obviously. With Arsenal, as Ola said, there's a mental component to it that they're battling with. But they've been battling with that for almost a year now, let's be honest about it. Yeah. The big club / small ego syndrome, kind of like you're supposed to be a big guy, but you're not, you're not meeting the should I say, the marks of being a big club and responsibilities given to these players. I would like to excuse Arteta, to be very honest, because he came in December 2019, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's really had any transfer budget or anything like that. I mean, from my notes here, what I'm seeing is their recruitment in the last year. They've had about like 5 players like Martinelli, Luis, Kieran, Thierry, Pepe, Danny, Cabellos, and Mari, right? But Cabellos and Mari came in 2020. So, but I cannot. I'm sure.
Actually, it's just only Mari that Ateta recruited. All
Yeah,
those other signings were Emirates signings.
And Mari is a loan signee, if you think about it. Like, not really a buy, you understand? So it's still short bandage approach to get them going. And they've been very unlucky with injuries. Like, my goodness. I mean, they've been anything that could go wrong with a club is going wrong with Arsenal right now. Correct. And it's just sad that.
Sorry, now you're saying they've been unlucky with injuries, but you guys also dashed them David Luiz. So what's on them?
Agent Luiz. Oh my goodness.
They came for him though. They came for him, and David Luiz was like, all right, I don't have to move. I'm just gonna go to the other place. You know, that kind of thing. Like,
I remember when it was a steal at 8 million. You remember? It was a bargain at 8 million.
The fact we made money, I'm like, wow. Like, but that's Chelsea too. We've been selling garbage players and making money off them. But just to round on my own point, I agree with everything Ola said. It's really a mental issue, and solving the issue, I don't think is changing the coach. I don't think the pressure should be on Arteta. And I mean, even you can bash Ozil, you can bash Aubameyang, but the level of the players they are playing with is not even close to anything they are used to or where their talent level is. So recruiting is where I will start from. They are way behind in recruiting.
I just want to. I agree with you, just a few seconds, Ayo. The reason why I'm saying their quality should have them higher up the table. Are you telling me that Arsenal's quality is less than Sheffield United's or Crystal Palace? Arsenal, with the quality they have, should be higher up the table. They should be. They are not pulling their weight. Some of those players, those teams might be better teams, but individually, Arsenal have higher quality than Sheffield United. Yeah, so they should be higher up the table.
I have a question for you then, in terms of this quality that you have mentioned. Aside Aubameyang, Lacazette and Ozil,
Pepe.
Sincerely looking at that squad. I don't even know if some of them were playing in current Crystal Palace, because I was looking at Van Arnold, or what's his name in Crystal Palace. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at some of the low-key recruitment Crystal Palace has made. Okay. Even Tottenham, I don't really think there's quality there, to be very honest with you.
So to be on Ola's side, I'm going to jump in so we can end this part, because I think we're going to spend a lot more time on like other top 4 teams and all of that. To end this part, I started Ola because of this. If you remember, halfway into the season, right? So a Manchester United point of view, when we were like in our bad form, I think that was just shortly before we played Norwich, when we were 14th or 12th. I remember this conversation. Me and you had it on, I think online. I can't remember that. And you were saying the whole quality thing. That was what you and a couple of Chelsea fans were saying. If you look at Manchester United, the quality is not like some of the teams. Like, and a lot of people were agreeing because they wanted to side the manager at that point. And if you remember, I said it clearly then that I absolutely disagree. We are playing way below our level, like all I said in Arsenal's case. And now that the team is now in a better place, you can see how far we are. What have we really done? We brought in Bruno. Okay, Bruno was a big signing. That's the one person we brought in the first 11. In the first 11, it's just Bruno. Igalo has hardly played in the EPL. Hardly. He comes in last 10 minutes, so the impact is very minimal. So, it begs my point that all this, the core of the people that everybody was slating there, that Fred is terrible, McTominay this, blah, blah, blah. They're the same guys that played these last 12 games and we're winning games. So I agree with Ola in the sense that I feel like Arsenal, a lot of them are not pulling their weight. There's a mentality issue. Arteta should not get any pressure, but we can always talk about the fact that his substitution, especially this last game, City, that's fine. Substitution in this last game was very, very suspect. He had tried to win the game and Caleb was bringing up the bench. So that, I think this should hold some blame, but that doesn't mean his position should be questioned at this point. Because, like I said, I think he has shown signs that he can possibly be a good manager. We don't know yet. Until he gets back properly, he has a full season to teach them the system. then we'll know who he really is. But you're right. I think the main thing was the mentality thing. I think he needs to like take a hard stance this summer and probably get some people out and get new people in. Like mentality.
He's gonna have
Some people have checked out. Some people have checked
he's
out.
gonna
And if there's one thing I'm going to learn, I have learned from just this past 2 seasons has been tumultuous. Like we went through ours with Mourinho / partly Ole. Spurs went through theirs when they were having contract problem with Pochettino. Arsenal went through that with Emery. So one thing I'm trying to do better now is noticing when teams are showing that sign that they are imploding, when they're like other things happening behind the scenes, apart from football that is affecting. And Arsenal is already showing that sign. Even just from the video when they're coming out of the tunnel, right? I think Samuel posted something like that. Just looking at their faces and their body language, a lot of things are off. There are a lot of things that are off with that team. And once you start seeing that, a lot of like big changes need to happen. So because when I look at it also, out of 12 games, by Arsenal standard, it's not good enough. But by this season standard, apart from Liverpool, and maybe to some extent, City, like this season has been very, very below average for everybody in the league. You know, so 4 wins out of 12 and draws is not bad. In this season, you're almost high on the table.
I was gonna say the same thing. Right. From third way to 10th, it's not that gravy, to be honest.
Correct. It's just that a lot of mess has just happened with the time of Emery, with the transition, which I think was one of the biggest mistakes they made. The Youngbeck thing was just, I don't know what they were thinking. I think that was just a total disaster. That Youngbeck thing that happened for like 3 or 4 games, like they should have gotten their person before they switched. But anyways, moving on to relegation battle, and I'll stay with you, Idris. When you look at this out of the games, I know you've been watching the games, apart from Norwich, because it looks like Norwich is going down. A miracle of the man, miracle of what we call this one now. Where is Norwich? I don't know what division they are in the UK. The Canaries miracle. Norwich is gone. So the question now is, who are they pulling along with them? Your thoughts? Who is joining them? I mean, it's just 1 game or 2 games now. We've not seen so much data, but for what
I think we have like 7 more games, right, to go. If I'm not mistaken.
8 more games.
8, right? Okay. Depending on each team's run, because what I did was I looked at the table again, and I looked at the last few games for some of these teams. From Watford down, it's not sure, because I think they're about like 27 or 27 on points right now.
Yeah.
Down. Then I think the next person's in their 30s. So that being said, right? I mean, I'm looking at Aston Villa, like I'm looking at Bournemouth, and I feel bad for Bournemouth because
they're like darling team for everybody, you know, because of
everybody's friend.
low budget. They have this budget in Premier League, you know, everybody just loves them.
But again, it just boils down to, as you told me this afternoon, they've punched above their weight for years. They've small market, small team. They really have tried. But I actually see with the injuries they've had, and I don't know if all the players are back fit, but where they're at right now, they just like Aston Villa, Norwich, even Watford and West Ham, they have to be putting like they need 4 wins out of 8. And I don't know how they're going to do that. Like you need 4 wins out of 8 if you're in this 5 club.
Yeah.
They don't have the quality to do it. They don't. The only team I think my edge is Aston Villa. But who takes Aston Villa's place is either West Ham or Watford. So those are that's it for me. Those are the 5 clubs I've mentioned.
those are the candidates for sure. I feel like there's now this gap in between. Bearing and that collapse, because this Premiership has probably been the most unpredictable. Bearing and that collapse, because I remember when Newcastle were in the trenches now. Newcastle are like almost middle table now.
Newcastle is 10th.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Oh my goodness. What are your thoughts about this relegation battle? It looks like that's where the interesting part is going to be. Then Antwerp for sure. We'll get to that.
Yeah, they're not Norwich. 21 points. I'm just checking. They're 6 points off. They're 6 points off safety.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's done.
I think
No,
they are
you mean
done too.
there are two losses of safety.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah, it will require a miracle. I really don't want them to go down. I don't want Norwich to go down.
Oh, really?
It's just that they don't have enough. They don't have enough quality all around, like to stay. They probably stay up. So in answer to your question, Bournemouth. The reason why I don't really feel sorry for Bournemouth, I like them, but I don't really feel sorry for them. Their transfer policy has been woeful. Their transfer, and Liverpool has contributed to that. So that's why we sold them.
In what sense?
Oh yeah, we sold them Jordan eBay for I think 15 million.
Okay.
Now he can't even get in the squad. He's had such a terrible time. They are not even allowing him to get in the squad. Jordan eBay. When he was at Liverpool, people were like, "This is the next Raheem Sterling." We sold them to him. Then we sold them Dominic Solanke. He scored one league goal for Liverpool, and we sold them to him for like almost 18 million or something, like double figures. He has not scored a single goal for them. And we sold them a left back to Brad Smith for 7 million. This guy didn't even play up to 2 appearances for Liverpool.
Wow.
So they've wasted money. They've wasted money. I know they don't have a big budget, but they've not bought well. And that's Eddie Howe's fault. Eddie Howe is a good coach, but I don't think he buys well. And like Idris was saying about recruitment for us now, recruitment for Bournemouth has also been a problem. They've not recruited well, and now
it's the one in charge of transfers, though. Is he the one in charge? Is that I don't know anything about Bournemouth. I don't know if they have like a structure. I think they don't. I don't remember.
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure.
Manager decides transfer. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I don't really want to blame Eddie Howe.
Maybe not just the manager though. I think Eddie Howe has like a very powerful say. I mean,
for sure. I mean,
like now the Arsene Wenger, the Ferguson-esque kind of like I know what's happening. But I would say, as Ola said, I'll put the recruitment on Eddie Howe's shoulders because he's been there long enough to make the soup out of the recipes that are given to him. So whatever he picks.
The way they've been, like their form has fallen off a cliff. Seriously,
yeah.
They've been losing so many games, and even when they stayed up, I think last season they had a bad run too. The thing is, this season the difference is they've not had any positive bounce back because normally they'll lose like 5 games, then they just bounce back and win 2 or 3 games out of nowhere. They'll beat one big team and just bounce back. But that's not happened. They've just kept losing, and that's why they'll go down. In my opinion, Bournemouth are going down. And I think Watford will stay up. I would love West Ham to go down. West Ham, their behavior was disgraceful.
You say you love.
Man, they wanted it to be normal because they wanted to escape relegation. Aaron Brady, oh goodness, that woman, she was pushing it at every opportunity. Oh, please cancel the league. Not avoid. Oh, this, oh, that. They were looking for every loophole to make sure the league didn't continue. And I hope they go down. It's just a pity. I think they have enough quality to stay up, but if they, I think they lost at home to Wolves.
Correct.
So if they losing, but they're not that far away. I think they're just on equal number of points.
Yeah, all of them are on 27.
They're on the same points with Bournemouth, so it's just goals difference. So I want Villa to stay up. Villa are a big club and they're decent, and I like that coach too. I like Villa to stay up. So in answer to your question, going down with Norwich, Bournemouth, and West Ham. Preferably.
Preferably, okay. That's not going to happen. I mean, okay. Since I agree with you, I think we just move past that. I think Bournemouth and West Ham. West Ham is just, and I don't have anything against David Moyes. A lot of Man United fans just want him to fail because they put a lot of the blame on him. But I don't. I just don't think they're good enough. West Ham. I just feel like that fight and that hunger. But yeah, they have. Okay, let me take that back. I feel like they have individual quality, but as a team, for some reason, they've not just gelled under the Moyes. They will have 1 or 2 games where it's like, oh, okay, what's that? Their star man, Michel Antonio, who did well. Then there was this Felipe Anderson had that purple patch where I was like, okay, these guys look decent, but overall, they just look like individual players that just found themselves. You know, hey, let's play this part. Today it works because you are doing well. The other time is like,
I have a question. When did David Moyes join West Ham?
Was it late last year?
Yeah.
I think about
So he was one of those. Who was there before? They had fired somebody to bring him in, right?
Pellegrini was there.
Pellegrini, yeah. So, 2 different philosophies.
Correct, exactly. Because all those players were rooted for Pellegrini with the Felipe Anderson. They bought this Yarmolenko. They spent a lot of money. They spent over 100
Yeah,
million. West Ham.
They spent a lot of money. That's why they're scared. That's why they're scared of getting relegated. They've overspent. Like they put all their eggs in this basket that we must stay up this.
Ola, between Aston
Not just stay up. Remember, people were saying maybe they can make Europa. That was what everybody was saying.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
spent
like
over 100 million pounds. I remember talking about this because, like, how can West Ham spend more than Manchester United? I remember getting angry. Net spend, too. Like, sorry, not net spend.
West Ham and Aston Villa spent money. These two clubs spent money.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm really hoping, because if they go down, it will be a disaster for those clubs. So I'm kind of hoping that they survive. You understand? And those that have small budgets, it is what it is. They will recover. I feel bad because I cannot think of. I mean, okay, Aston Villa has got a rich owner, but West Ham, we all know how the two David Gold and the other David, we all know how stingy they are with money. If this club goes down, we might never see West Ham again coming up with the amount of money they've spent. I'm worried about them, like sincerely.
So for me, so that we've said all the thoughts. Okay, moving on. I say preferably the only person I'm invested in the relegation battle. Just my final thoughts are Bournemouth because of Eddie Howe, and Watford just because Troy Deeney. I like Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney is my guy. I like how bold and how outspoken he is. But yeah. So moving on to top 4 battle. So the top 4 battle, top 4 Champions League battle is interesting so far. It looks like Chelsea and Wolves they were the ones that profited most from this first round of games. Everybody dropped points. Everybody. Leicester dropped points. Manchester United dropped points. Spurs dropped points. Sheffield crumbled.
They crumbled.
They crumbled against Newcastle. They crumbled. Maybe it was they're still feeling the whole VAR thing from the first game. They crumbled. I think, like I told you, I think they are. So let me just jump in and say my thoughts, and I'll let you guys. I think they are punching above their weight. Now they're not getting to the point where it's like, okay, the restart has gone. There's 3 months now. Everybody has had the time to reset, and it's now looking like, would I say the people have figured them out, or the pump patch is over? I don't know where to place them because creativity-wise, they don't look like the same team. Because I remember watching them then. They were creating chances. I'm not saying they were creating like any top 4 side, but apart from the top 4 side, I could dare say Sheffield were creating 3-4 good chances per game. They were creating chances and they were scoring them. They would score 1 or 2 and they would tighten up. But these 2 games I watched, zero creativity. Against Villa, against and Newcastle today, they crumbled like a pack of cards. I know they got a red card, but they just crumbled totally. So I think they've got to the point where it's like they might not even have a chance of making Europa at this rate if they continue at this rate. So that's my thoughts about Wolves. In my opinion, are the most dangerous team apart from the top. So before we get Chelsea, I think Wolves are the most dangerous team. They have a small squad. They have an organization that's well run, George Mendes. They also have a manager who I think is an underrated, brilliant manager, who also, and I think maybe not just the manager, but the organization. They do a lot of muscle and injury management technology. They spend a lot because he says he likes to have a small squad to work with because big squads can easily get disunited because some people will not play, and when friends that they don't play, the squad can start getting divided. So he likes to work with a core group of 15 players, that he knows that these 15 people, they're all together, they will all get like heavy minutes and they all play. And he believes a lot of it. They say rather than spend money on wages. I listened to this interview, I was very interested. I was like, wow. He said rather than spend money on wages, he rather invest money on science, sports science, muscle recovery for these players, and how you can manage the minutes, knowing when to take, like Jota. Jota will not play some games because he has gotten to the point where he could get like a muscle injury or how those kind of things. So I think that's very, and when you look at it, if I remember, I think I looked at this data sometime during the break. I think either they have 1 or number 2 in injuries. Like they've had these injuries. Yeah, especially muscle, not contact. Obviously, you cannot negate for contact injuries. I mean, there's nothing you can do to plan for that. But like muscle-related, fatigue-related injuries, I think they're like that on 1 number 2 in the whole league, and they were like that in Championship too. So that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, okay. So I think Wolves are the most dangerous team in that pack of people when it comes to just that fact that everybody was just looking at them like, it's Wolves. they're very dangerous. Chelsea look good today for the most part. They struggled a little bit, but they reacted quickly, I think, and I think they're in pole position to stay top four. If they don't crumble, because now they're giving themselves that cushion where I know they will drop points. It's 5 points, they will drop points, but now everybody below them, in my opinion, will drop points too. So eventually, I've been saying this. That's been the tune I've been singing in for the game. That's what I presume was going to happen. So I think they're in pole position. Manchester United, I think it's a toss-up. There's too many. We have a very good chance. We have a very good core. I fear that, like I always say, a lot of what we're going to do is dependent on like 3-4 core people in our team. It's not by I still don't see a lot by design, attacking wise. All I see is like 3-4 core people. Like if one or two of them, say for example, if Pogba is in hot form and one of either Rashford or Martial in that forward and form, we can win the game. If the midfield is not working out, like Bruno and Pogba kind of off, or the whole forward are off, we can drop points. So that's what I see. That's the dynamics I've been noticed over time for Manchester United. We're too dependent on like that for individual brilliance and what they do. If those 4 guys don't click, everything is done.
Yes, you can say that about many top teams. Liverpool.
That's true. That's true.
You can say that if Salah and Mane don't score,
that's true. But the difference,
every team has 4-5 match winners.
The difference is, in my opinion, those other top teams, they have a set attacking way that they want to break things down by design, right? Even sometimes when one of those guys or two of those guys are off, right? They can score a goal, say Liverpool, via a corner kick, right? Somebody can pop up by like 1-2 passes. They have a set way that they can win a game and not having to have their star players give a 9/10. If you understand what I mean. They can have 6 and 7/10, average type of games, and they will just take it over the line because they have a set way which they want to break things down. That's what I see. And that's my personal opinion. It might not be popular, but that's what I see about Manchester United. So I will let Ola go. Since you already jumped in, what's your thoughts about the top 4? And I guess the data is not enough yet, but
yeah, about 5 points. But Chelsea got a very important result because
they did.
Winning that game today gives them that cushion. So even if they're playing against City next, and even if they drop points against City, they still have that gap to 5th place. I agree absolutely about Wolves. Very dangerous team. Wolves, they're probably my favorite team out of the top. I mean, outside of the big 6, outside of the big 6 in quotes, Wolves are probably my favorite team. Even when Liverpool played them last season, the season before, they give us a very tough time. They give big teams a tough time, and now they're finding that consistency too. So they're picking wins. So you would have thought the Europa League would maybe make them really lose focus this season, but now they're not far away at all. I don't think they're far away at all, and I really no, yeah, he's a good shout for if any of the big positions open up in any of the bigger clubs. No should be one of the top candidates getting one of those positions if any of the positions open up, because for me he's a really good manager. So Wolves, yes, I still think United will put a good run together, but I don't know if Rashford, I don't know his fitness because he's been out for so long. So it might be dependent on, because Daniel James doesn't score many goals. Yeah. And like you said, if Martial is not scoring, then where are you getting your goals from? So that's why Pogba coming back is very important, because at least it can look at the skill. I think that dribble is one of my favorite dribbles since the Project Restart came back. The one for the penalty, how he won the penalty. Just danced past Eric Dyer. Boom. It looked so easy the way he just went past him, but that's skill.
Yeah, he does that a lot. He did it against he's done that a couple of times. Newcastle.
Oh man, it just smooth. Yeah. Just smooth. Just glided past him. Like I was just like, man, that's Pogba. So for me, I think United will string some wins, but it might be scrappy wins, it might be tight wins, and they still need Chelsea to drop as many points as possible. I'm not too sure. Chelsea, the problem for me is their defense. I'm not sure they still have that solid base. I think United still have a better defense than Chelsea, in my opinion. I think they have. United don't give away too many bad goals, except this weekend, the last weekend when for some reason Maguire just let this guy just drift past him. United don't really concede too many stupid goals like that, So So maybe it's just rustiness. So in answer to your question, yeah, Wolves will probably be the most likely to crack that top four. And then maybe United, if Chelsea drop enough points, United might nick it also.
Okay, Idris.
So for me, like I would say I agree with Wolves and United, but I just wanted to point out to you guys that Crystal Palace has 42 points. Sheffield with I think Crystal Palace for 2 points with Tottenham, and
wow.
believe with Tottenham for 2 points, and Sheffield I believe and Sheffield's at 46 also.
44.
But the gap, sorry, 44.
44 Sheffield and Wolves 46.
Sheffield, awesome. So I think United's at 46. So you have 42 to 46. And I know that we are talking about quality, we're talking about Sheffield and all these other teams. I think most of these teams are just rusty, sincerely. Like Wolves did not look rusty. They look like the same regiment is what they got. But then I'll go to United. I've always thought United you're right, playing below their ability, but you guys don't have injuries now, right? And I'm looking at your last 4 games. You guys have strung some decent results.
Correct.
And that Bruno signing is huge. Even if Igalo is coming once in a while, Igalo has delivered. Once in a while, he has delivered. And with Rashford being full, because I know Rashford was just Chelsea's problem this season. He just comes on the pitch, something happens for him, and we lose to Man United. So with him being fit, with Martial good to go, with Pogba and Bruno's link up looking good, and they're not making Pogba play like the anchor center mid. It looks like he's linking up he's building up play with Bruno and either Scott McTominay or Fred, who happens to be the defensive midfielder. I do think there will be a lot more wins for United coming. I'm more worried about United than I am for Wolves because there's that belief of we are united.
Correct, yes.
That we can push. And being a big club is just a matter of, and you have talent. It's just a matter of things clicking for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You guys talked about defense. Your defense is solid. You might not like the philosophy or the style of football you're playing, but as a unit, United looks like a solid team. Things are just beginning to look good for them, and they have talent to make it to push up. I'll talk about my team, Chelsea. We are also fit for the first time. We have everybody coming back in fit, but the defense is a problem. Like we do not have what's the word I'm looking for? We do not have. I don't say irresponsible or responsible defenders. I just don't like defenders that are focused. Because our defenders lose concentration too easily. Christensen, Rudiger, they could play an amazing 80, 90 minutes. 4 seconds, they will lose a man. That's easy. Either him, Kotzuma, or Rudiger. And I do believe Chelsea has to get rid of one of those two and one of those three to bring in a John Terry-esque Virgil. Or even I know we bash Maguire. Somebody solid that knows how to at least defend, right? And those three, I mean, we got five points cushion, but again, still, we're going to drop points. That's what I'm worried about.
Correct. Yes, that's true. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've all talked about it. So yeah, I think top 4 is going to. So let me just do quick hot takes. This one is just answer. No need to tell me why. Bruno, Pogba. Who's better? Ola.
What? Bruno or Pogba?
Yes.
Who's better?
Yes.
Pogba is better, in my opinion. Bruno does not matter. It does not make that dribble. Bruno does not make that dribble. That's
absolutely.
It.
This is also my question. This was a Bucci question. Bucci wrote the topics. Idris, Bruno Pogba.
How about Pogba now?
My own answer, I'll just do this. That's my own answer. Everybody knows my answer. Okay, second one. Sancho or Kai Havertz? Quickly.
Sancho.
At the moment, Sancho, but in the future, Kai Havertz.
Interesting.
Kai Havertz has a higher ceiling. He has a higher range of skills.
Interesting. I almost
that has actually been the bane of any quality young kid. The fact that you can see them and put them in different places has always made them jack of all trades, master of none. And that's what I'm doing with Sancho.
Okay, good. No problem. No need for long argument. That's good. I say Sancho. Even though I agree that what Ola is saying, it looks like now a higher ceiling. I think it depends on where Sancho moves to next. That will tell me. If Sancho goes to a club where he has very good coaching, I actually think Sancho, with what Sancho does, his ceiling is not in sight. That's what I say about Sancho. When I look at Havertz, Havertz can be at his peak. He can be an Ozil. He could be so many things. He could be a David Silva. But when I look at Sancho, I don't see his ceiling just because of how kind of things he does. So moving on. Predictions. I know we did it wrong, so this one is off the cuff. Just call predictions. I know we did. Yeah. So Leicester, Brighton. Idris, score prediction. Just say whatever. It doesn't matter. Leicester, Brighton. Leicester is hosting Brighton.
Leicester will beat Brighton 2-1.
Okay. Ola.
2-0.
2-0. Stay with Ola. I said 2-0 too. Spurs, West Ham. Ola.
Who's at home?
West Ham. Spurs
will beat them 3-1.
3-1. Idris.
2-0.
2-0. Okay. I said 2-1. Stay with Idris. Liverpool, Crystal Palace. Liverpool hosting Crystal Palace.
3 something. I don't know. Crystal Palace score. I think 3-1. 3-1. Because I feel like Crystal Palace, they're on a good run. 3-1.
Okay.
They'll score.
2-1. They give us a tough game every time.
I will say I remember Crystal. I go with 2-1 too. Stay with Ola. The final one, Chelsea City. Chelsea hosting City. Stamford Bridge.
1-1.
Oh, a draw. Okay, 1-1. Idris.
I was going to go 1-1 too. Because we always play well against big teams.
Okay. Good point. I think City are on a different level. They're coming with smoke. So I think 1-2. I think it'll be close, but I think Chelsea lose. So yes, guys, ladies, everybody, we've come to the end of our pod. Projection Start is in full flow. So much football. Idris, thank you for coming on. As always, it's always good to have you. Ola, thank you for coming on. If you like our content, if you're on YouTube, you see this video, please leave us a like. If you're on Spotify, leave us a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcast. You see all of our address at the end of the podcast.